So managing files is still a massive part of what we do in business. In fact, every single business is about managing some sort of files, whether that's your invoices, your quotes, proposals, HR documents for new employees, even MSAs, so managed services agreements or back-to-back agreements with partners, etc. We're all going to be managing files of some kind. Logos and marketing materials is another common area where we're using files. So this isn't going to go away anytime soon. And the standard concept of how this stuff works has been around for a long time. And that's the concept of folders and files, right? So folders themselves, the old manila files that you used to put in filing cabinets and other big compactus and all that sort of stuff, or even cards that you see in the library, those little cards that reference where the particular books or volumes, etc., put onto the shelves. So the same sort of concepts apply in our business. It hasn't really changed, and I can't see it evolving anytime soon, simply because this is what we're used to. Even with the advent of search, people still like classifying, categorizing, and putting things into folders. Now, when we're talking about Microsoft 365, where do these things go? Well, it goes in SharePoint, but that could either be SharePoint directly, it could be OneDrive, or it could be via Teams. All ends up in the same place, being SharePoint. Now I'm going to dive into having a look at some of the functionality inside of the OneDrive app. The main reason I'm going to focus on that is a lot of the same concepts also apply into SharePoint and they apply into Teams. So if you get these concepts down straight, then the rest of it becomes super, super easy. So let's just jump over, and now I've got into OneDrive. Now, one new feature that I've seen just recently is the ability to color code folders. Yes, you can color code a folder. Very cool. I only just spotted this one recently. So if we want to create a folder, well, we come up here and we can create a folder. We can give it a color and a name, and off we go. Now I'm going to pick on this folder demo, right? Because I'm doing a demo for you guys. So I'm going to create a uploads folder. I'll explain why in a moment. And I'm going to color that one purple. And I'm going to go another folder, and I'm just going to call this client. Actually, I'm going to call it shared. I'm just going to keep it yellow, which is the default color. So why have I created these particular folders? Now, this is a common thing that we need to be able to do when we're working with files. The first one is we're going to better share files with others. Now, I'm going to create a document. I'm just going to create a Word document in this case. And you'll see here right in the interface, it's going to load up the web version of Word. Now, we could actually go and change this and say, I'm going to click here, and I can open in the desktop app if I wish. But for the purposes of here, all right, so I can use my document, and there's a lot of capability now. I mean, the web-based version is getting better and better all the time. I don't have to worry about saving this because it's going to save it automatically. I can put in comments in here, also catch up, which allows me to see what's going on. There's a new one called Designer, which is coming out, which allows us to be able to create particular designs. So if you want to quickly style it, we've got these capabilities coming into the platform to be able to format and change the design of this particular document. But you get the idea, right? We can start playing around with that. So I'm going to close this particular document. You'll see here that it's got document. I didn't rename it. I can rename it here if I wish. And saying, I'm going to just call this demo document, just for the sake of the argument. So we can see, that it's got one view. I edited it. It was created. We can also see additional details for that. You'll also see we've got a star here, so I can favorite this, so I can always get back to it easily. Favoriting is a really important aspect of 365, so you can go and focus on the areas that are important to you. But the thing I want to touch on at the moment is sharing this document. So the share dialog has changed recently, but it's been simplified. The idea is that I can just share this. I can type in someone's email, put in a message, and hit send. I don't have to open up Outlook. I don't have to waste time copying and pasting and crafting a decent message, etc. I can just put in a comment right here with someone's email address and send it. Now, the default functionality, and you can change how the default share works. We've set it up to say I have to specify a person. So you'll get an email. It will have a link to this. You click on that link. If you have a Microsoft account, you'll load a log straight in. If you don't, then you can request a one-time code to go to your email, put that code in, and you get access to the doc. It's super easy. All you need is a web browser. But we can go and change what we can do with this. So you can see people you choose. I can also say people with existing access. So if you don't have access, it won't get inherently granted. People within my organization, or the anyone link. Now the anyone's a curious one. So it means you don't have to log in. You can share this with literally anyone. So long as you can click on that link and you have internet access, you can open and view that file. Now there's a couple of things that we do to try to protect people on that. The first one is that we mandate a 14-day expiry, right? You don't have to, but we mandate it just from a security aspect. Why? Because if I'm going to share this with you and you don't respond within 14 days, chances are you've forgotten about it and you're not going to get back to it. The other thing is I'll forget to come back and remove that access. This way, if you try at 15 days to access that document, it's not going to work. So you got to contact me and say, hey, Andy, I can't get access to that document. Can you reshare it? And I can then just come back into this sharing and extend the date, and then you're good to go. The other one I can do is I can control whether or not you can view or review documents, or even edit it. So maybe I want you to be able to do full changes. Maybe I just want you to review that document and put markup suggestions and comments. Or maybe I just want you to be able to view that document. Finally, so if we have on view, I can also set it so I can block your ability to download the document. Now, it's not going to stop you from taking screenshots or capturing some of the content, right? It's not perfect, but it does reduce the ability for people to do that, especially if you're sharing videos. So you can't download easily that particular video. You can view it online, but you can't download it. And then you can also put a password. So this password could be share with anyone, but I'm going to send you a special password via another channel for you to be able to access that particular content. If that information is a little bit more sensitive and you want to try to mitigate the man in the middle type attack where someone gets access to the special link, and let me tell you, these links are impossible to guess, then you can add that extra level of security, right? So they just have to put in that password and they're good to go. And you can also change that expiry. Because we mandate 14 days, you can go less, but we can't go more. When I apply that, now I can just copy this link and I can send it elsewhere. Or I can just type in someone's email, send it, they'll click on the link and they'll get access. It's that simple. The other thing we can do is we can share in Outlook, so we could actually open this and share in Outlook. Or the other thing that we can do as well is we can review who has access and how. When we click on these items here, you'll see that it's shared only with myself. It's not shared via any groups or any links. So you can always go back and find out how your document has been shared. And even after you send it, you can revoke it pretty much straight away. That's the sharing dialog. Super simple, super easy, but highly capable in terms of what you're doing. So next time you've got a document you need to share, this is why we say, put it in OneDrive. Don't even think about it. Just put it there. It's going to make it so easy for you to share. These dialogues will appear and they look exactly the same whether you're in Teams or SharePoint, and even on the desktop versions of the app. They look not quite identical, but pretty darn close, whether you're on Mac or Windows. Same concept, same idea. The sharing dialog is identical across all these different assets. It even works in Stream, so you can share content for those videos, and we'll talk about Stream in another video, on how you can actually produce these videos to be able to quickly share with your team. But before I finish off with sharing, there's another use case that you might have that you can share. Obviously, you can share a folder, which allows people to upload and download and delete and create files within that folder. You can share entire sites. But there's another special one where, let's say, for example, you want someone to upload a large file to you. It's either large or sensitive, because you don't want to be collecting sensitive files via email. How do we do that? Well, that's what I created this uploads folder. I'm just going to select that, and there's this option up here that appears called request files. What that's going to do is create a special link for us that, if I open up into a in private browser, provides me with a very simple little interface. So you could send them that link and say, can you upload your files to this location? I can't see what files are in there already, so you could send this out to multiple people to upload it. And then when I go and select a file to upload, I'm just going to pick on this one. I can upload that file. Now I can go and upload multiple files through here. It could be a very large file, etc. But it's a very simple, secure way of doing that. Now, when I switch back to my file request, I can come into this uploads folder, and now you'll see that file I just uploaded. I can't see, as the uploader, what file's in there, but you can collect this information. Imagine you've got a very large spreadsheet, design document, image, video, whatever it might be, up to, I think it's a couple of, it's up to 100 gigabytes in size. It could even be larger. And you can upload these files nice and quickly, yet securely. Be very careful about asking for files to be sent via email. They're just not safe or encrypted. And as we all know, you can only send files of a certain size. This way, they go right in the place you need it. And if you did this in a shared space, i.e. a SharePoint site or a team, then your team can see those files and then action them appropriately. Think of it, when you've got a new client on board, you can send them a special link. They can just upload all the files they need for you to be able to do your work and get things done. Super simple, don't need yet another system, and all your files are already in SharePoint. You can go and search and record them later. Anyway, hope you found that useful, and until next time, enjoy and start exploring Microsoft 365.